The cubs tried their first roar. She laughed, and they tried harder. The roar echoed down the hangar, sharp, high, and utterly unconvincing. And every hardened veteran on Deck 7 froze. Not because it was terrifying, but because it was trying to be. The predator cub stood on shaking legs, chest puffed out, fangs bared far wider than its jaw could justify. Its roar cracked halfway through, dissolving into an embarrassed squeak that bounced off the steel walls like a dropped tool. Silence followed. Then, the human laughed. Not mockery, not cruelty. A sudden, startled laugh, warm, breathless, real, the kind that slipped out before discipline could catch it. The cub stiffened, its ears flattened, its eyes narrowed, and then it inhaled again, deeper this time.
Roar!
The sound slammed into the hangar with twice the force, still small, still unpolished, but stronger, sharper, determined. Every alien present stepped back, because predator cubs were not supposed to respond to laughter with escalation. Outpost K-17 had seen 3 wars in as many cycles. The walls still bore scorched plating from boarding actions, claw marks from species that had tried and failed to take it. This was a place where roars meant death. The cubs had been brought here for observation, future alphas of a species whose adults shattered armor with their jaws and hunted in vacuum without fear. As cubs, they were volatile, dangerous, and untrained. No one volunteered to work near them, except the human. Sergeant Mara Vale sat cross-legged on the deck, rifle resting within arm's reach, helmet off, expression relaxed in a way that unsettled everyone watching from behind reinforced glass. The cub that had roared stared at her now, tail lashing. She wiped a tear from the corner of her eye. Hey, that was good," she said. "You just surprised me, that's all." The cub tilted its head, confused. The others gathered behind it, smaller shapes pressing together, eyes locked on her face. Another cub tried. It sounded like a broken engine. Mara covered her mouth too late. A snort escaped. The cub's pupils dilated. Then all of them inhaled.
Roar! Roar! Roar!
The hangar trembled, not from volume, but from intent. They weren't just making noise anymore. They were correcting themselves, adjusting posture, planting claws, learning. The observers realized it at the same time, a cold understanding settling in their chests. They weren't being mocked. They were being trained. Later, much later, the alarms would sound. A hostile boarding pod punched through the outer hull, spilling armored silhouettes and plasma fire into the station's spine. Screams followed. Orders shouted. Weapons barked. Mara was already moving. "Cubs, stay!" someone yelled. She didn't repeat it. She turned to them instead, eyes hard now, laughter gone, replaced by something far more dangerous. "Remember your breath," she said calmly, over the chaos. "Deep, from here." She tapped her chest once. "You don't roar to sound scary. You roar to mean it." The cubs watched her, every single one. The deck shook as explosions drew closer. Mara rose to her full height, lifted her rifle, and fired down the corridor. Controlled bursts, precise, relentless. A human roar followed, raw, wordless, ferocious. Not loud, certain. The cubs answered. This time, the roar rolled through the station like thunder. Harmonized, unified. The sound of predators who understood. Borders faltered, then broke, because fear isn't about volume, it's about conviction. Afterward, medics would find the cubs standing guard around the human, chests heaving, claws stained, eyes blazing with something new. Confidence. The recordings would circulate through alien command networks, analyzed frame by frame. Scholars would argue for cycles about how a species with no natural weapons could command apex predators with nothing but laughter and clarity. They would fail to understand. Humans didn't laugh because they weren't afraid. They laughed because fear didn't control them. And when the galaxy's deadliest cubs tried to roar for the first time, it wasn't an alpha who taught them. It was a human who showed them that power wasn't born screaming. It was forged, corrected, and unleashed on purpose. And the galaxy would learn too late that when humans laugh at danger, it's because they're already winning.